Good evening. Second and the final conclusion of the three-day Business Forum conference by the Commonwealth CWIC, that is the Commonwealth Wealth Investment Council. There were many sessions which were very, very well presented, but majority of them had only male panelists and speakers. And then, one of the major points were here for gender diversity and equity. But I'm sure we are getting there. We use a lot of word empowering women, but it is very important to see women out there and make a difference and speak out. But I'm sure in due course of time, we'll have more women speakers and guests, and probably a bit more coming in from the women's perspective. Nevertheless, there was an amazing session, which was probably one of the best, and I wanted to attend this, and I wanted to understand and learn and, develop my learning skills and knowledge in terms of bridging the digital space, that is. There were many points that was raised, and it was so nice to see the Prime Minister of Jamaica coming on to stage. Mind you, for some people like us and the Asian communities and countries, he had no protocol, and he came on the stage as a very fine speaker. He had raised important points that were later raised and spoken by the technology experts, the MTN Group, which was one of the major sponsors of the Commonwealth Business Forum, and there were people from all over the Innovation and Technology Hub. I feel as now, post-COVID, the most important thing is that most of us, we just speak about the word digital technology, but how important it is to understand that digital technology has to be used now to create economic development. Any country that just survives on financial inclusion and literacy has now to move forward with digital inclusion and literacy. It is very important for us to also understand, after coming out from the 3 sessions we had yesterday and the final one today, which said invest in Rwanda. The whole conclusion was to understand that whatever we may be investing in, it has to be for the future development of digital and technology, and to empower these two among the youth and beyond. I personally feel, working with the startups and small businesses and people within my age group also, that we understand technology as Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter and LinkedIn the most. But it is also the technology that we need to implement to work on the financial side, maybe having more digital online banking perspectives. 2.9 billion people live out of the digital world, which is quite a big number, and I came to know about this. And I feel that the countries, especially the countries that need to implement, are the countries that are in the Central Asia and the South Asia side. Africa, I never realized until I was there in Kigali, and to understand that it is important, extremely important, to empower the local, the masses, and to teach and provide them facilities to understand technology and beyond, just not the social media. I also had this very important point that as I was writing down all the points, that improve human digital skills and capacity, using technology to bring sustainability, may it be agriculture. Agriculture is probably the best business, or probably the most survival part of Asia and certain parts of Africa as well. I saw how rich Kigali is and how rich the South Asian countries are. It's just that we need to empower ourselves in manners that where we can educate our younger people, and probably just not the younger people, but people, why not, of my age. We always tend to forget that, it's people like us. If we want to start a new business, people will say, oh, there we are old and we don't have any digital knowledge, but that's not the case. And I was convinced that if we can educate ourselves, that will make it much easier. And then for us to understand why the youth is now a 3G or a 4G or a 5G child makes a lot of sense, because that's what they understand and that is what they're trying for us to also understand. So I completely agree with the government's initiative, with the Commonwealth's initiative to digitally, bridge the gap, divide the digital information among different categories of people, bring it into a national stage where we can understand how, the amount of internet telecom providers can be also facilitated. They could have some relaxation by the government. E-commerce businesses can also get some sort of, flexibility. I think living in London and living in Pakistan, I see a lot of difference between the technology that is being used right now. And I still feel that the Asian world is probably ahead. I may be wrong, but this is my opinion. And everybody's free to give their own opinion. Coming to the end of the Kigali 3-day conference, it has been a wonderful experience. Invest in Rwanda, and why not? It's probably one of the finest and the cleanest city I've ever seen. The people are very warm, and it has been a wonderful experience. I wish I can, further educate this among the people of any age group, and I'm there, and I understand that how important things will come up beyond the pandemic. Commonwealth trade and investment prospects. There is trade and investment word used all the time, but how significantly we use it in digital inclusion and literacy, that is what we need to understand. Fintech, yes, a very savvy word. Fintech, a very trendy word. We put hashtags, but to understand and bring this into e-commerce platform where, I am in one of the e-commerce platforms, and I don't understand sometimes what are people posting, because, we are very limited. We are not just there. So let's make a difference by this time, just not by empowering the word empower, but actually physically executing it and implementing it. So digital transformation in terms of digital skills, bringing in a syllabus that teaches entrepreneurship through skills, through digital transformation is what we need. Goodbye from Rwanda now, till we meet again. Thank you.